everyone, and welcome. So, if you've been feeling like you're just drowning in all these new AI buzzwords, trust me, you are not alone. Today, we're going to cut right through all that noise and get super clear on the terms that, let's be honest, everyone is talking about right now.
You've heard these terms thrown around everywhere, right? Generative AI, AI agents, agentic AI. You've probably even used them yourself. But are they just different words for the same thing? Nope, not at all. And by the end of this explainer, you'll be able to tell anyone exactly why. All right, let's start with the one most of us already know pretty well. Generative AI. This is the content creator. At its core, you can think of systems like ChatGPT. They're powered by what's called a large language model, or an LLM, which is basically a brain that's been trained on a massive slice of the internet. Its main job is pretty simple. You give it a prompt, and it generates something totally new in response. But here's the big catch, right? Its knowledge is based only on the data it was trained on, which means it's essentially frozen in time. You could ask it, hey, what's the price of a flight for tomorrow? And nothing. It's completely stumped. Its entire world, its whole universe of knowledge, ended on its last training day. And that fundamental limitation is the key to understanding everything that comes next. So, what happens when we take that powerful generative AI brain and we give it a way to interact with the real, live world? This is where we make the jump from just thinking to actually acting. And this is the question that unlocks the next level. What if that brain wasn't just trapped inside its own knowledge base? What if it could actually reach out and use things? We do this by giving the LLM access to external tools, usually through something called an API. You can think of an API as a kind of special doorway that lets one program use the features of another one. So now, that brain can use a web search tool to get today's information, or a travel API to check real-time flight data. It's no longer just thinking, it's equipped to do things. And this brings us to what we call an AI agent. It's a program that can take your request, think about the steps needed, and then act to complete that task. So instead of just telling you about flights, it can now use its Expedia tool to find the absolute cheapest one and then actually book it for you. It's making its own independent decision based on the goal you gave it. But let's be super clear here. While this is a huge leap forward, a single agent is typically focused on a simple, well-defined goal. Book the cheapest flight from A to B tomorrow. That's a perfect task for an AI agent. But what happens when the goal gets a whole lot more complicated? Okay, now we get to the really powerful stuff, agentic AI. This is where we go from a single worker to a whole coordinated team. And this is where the limits of a single agent really become clear. For example, what if you asked it something like, plan me a 7-day trip to New Delhi in May. I need 7 straight days of sun, the flight has to be under $1,600, and absolutely no layovers. See, this isn't a single task anymore. It's a whole project with multiple moving parts. Way too much for one agent to handle alone. An agentic AI system tackles this by coordinating multiple specialized agents. So first up, a weather agent uses a weather API to find that sunny week. It then passes those dates to a flight agent to find flights that meet your budget and layover rules. The system might even call in an immigration agent to check if your visa is valid before it even thinks about booking. This is multi-step reasoning and planning, live and in action. So think of agentic AI as the project manager. It's a whole system that directs multiple agents to work together on these complex, long-running tasks. They use different tools, they even talk to each other, all to achieve a really sophisticated, multi-part goal. So let's pull this all together. The most crucial thing to remember is that these concepts really build on each other. Let's take a look at the core differences at a glance. This chart really shows the evolution perfectly. We start with generative AI, which is all about creating content. Then we give it tools and boom, it becomes an AI agent that can handle a simple task. But the real leap is with agentic AI, where you see this massive jump in tool usage and, more importantly, autonomy. It's not just doing a task anymore, it's managing an entire project. And just remember that generative AI, that powerful LLM brain, it's the core engine sitting inside both AI agents and agentic AI systems. It is the foundational piece that provides all the reasoning and language capabilities for everything else to work. This brings us to the future, which is, without a doubt, agentic. And look, this isn't just some theory. These systems are actively being built as we speak. Frameworks like LangGraph are giving developers the toolkits they need to build these complex agentic systems. And we're already seeing some powerful real-world applications pop up. I mean, imagine telling an AI system to onboard our new employee. It could then just go, add them to HR systems, send a welcome email, ping their manager, and set up all their accounts, all without a single human click. And that brings us to the final and I think most important thought. As these systems get way better at managing these super complex projects, the possibilities are just staggering. So I'll leave you with this question. What's the one big, tedious, annoying process in your life that you would hand over to an AI system in a heartbeat? Go ahead, think of it. Because whatever you just thought of, yeah, that's where this is all heading. Thanks for joining me.